G'day folks, welcome back to another update on platinum, crude oil, high-grade copper and iron ore. And platinum, crude and copper have bounced off their major support levels, all thanks to bullish divergence. And before we go any further, support us more by hitting that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you want to go an extra step of support and buy me a coffee, go to the Patreon page and subscribe there. We do weekly reports on bullish shares that have turned bullish in the last week. Looking at our heat map, you can see there at top left we've got the at today's instruments. They're still bearish on the weekly and they're neutral on predominantly on the monthly still, and a bit of a mixed bag on the daily. And that's all due to the CCI 150 trends, and I'll go through each of those now. So first, looking at spot platinum on the monthly, it looks like it's a neutral positioning. We've got no CCI showing up for the monthly chart. On the weekly, it's broken down below the moving averages, and I've got a simplified moving average there on the CCI, and these are all in the description below if you want to learn how to paint these on your software, charting software. But you can see there it's in a bearish momentum at the moment. It's also broken below the moving averages of the price chart on the weekly, and on the daily it's also bearish, although notice it's broken up into a neutral positioning according to the CCI on the daily. Now if we go to the hourly chart, you can see there based on the daily you would have taken short positions from the 10th of July, and going back to the 10th of July you would have taken short positions as indicated by those red arrows. Now notice on the hourly chart as well we had a few bullish divergence here. It broke up and hit their respective targets. So the way it works is when we've got higher lows on the CCI versus lower lows on the price, it generally takes a bounce, and the minimum retrace level, if I draw it on that one for example, is at 23-38% retrace of the Fibonacci range between the highs and the lows. And I generally delete those Fibonacci's just to make it a bit clearer, and I leave those target areas for reference. And the last one we had was this bullish divergence here versus a double bottom on the price chart down here, almost a triple bottom. It bounced, hit our 23-38% target range between this Fibonacci range. It's actually still rising. Now, one thing to note is, if I drew that Fibonacci again to that high, it hit that 23-38% target level and still rising. Now you notice there it's actually currently resting around the 50% level. And we'll keep a close eye on that, because if it breaks much higher than that 61%, it's most likely going to change reversal. So we'll keep an eye on that. But at the moment, we only take we don't take any trades at the moment. The daily's neutral, so we don't take long or short trades until we see this break convincingly higher. And by higher I mean it's got to break above these moving averages on the CCI on the daily to go bullish on the 1 hour, or it needs to break down again like it was back here to continue a short positioning. So what we have here for US crude, on the monthly it's bearish, it's broken below its moving average range. On the weekly it has been bearish for a number of weeks now, but notice it's turning up toward its moving average range, and if I draw those moving averages in here, it's a very thin line range of moving averages, but it's actually approaching that range. And on the daily it's actually broken above that moving average range, giving us a bullish signal, so only taking long trades on the intraday time frame. So looking at the hourly here, taking only the long trades from the 11th of August, only a few days ago. So you would have taken long trades only. So if I draw in the long arrows, as indicated by those blue arrows, you would have taken those long trades, and you'd still be in a trade today because the daily is bullish, and that would still be in a trade today if you're going long on US crude. So long trades only. Now notice here as well, we did draw this Fibonacci retracement on our last video, and that's where the last video finished, but notice the price dropped further. So what you do is we readjust that Fibonacci, we drop it down to that level there, in which case we also readjust our target area, and that drops down to that 23-38% level, and that would have risen just slightly to about there. So that was our new target area if you followed that. So we wait until it bounces convincingly, follow the CCI for as long as it's still rising, which it did, hit our minimum target. Now notice in this case it's broken up and just resting on the 61%. Remember what I said about 61%? If it breaks much higher than that, we're going to probably see a reversal. So at the moment, we only take long trades for US crude, and it's still playing along in our favor there. No sign yet of a reversal. The CCI is still rising. It's breaking down below the moving averages. So to go long again, we wait for it to break higher than that moving average range. High grade copper. On the monthly, it's broken into a neutral positioning. Again, if I show you those moving averages, you see there it's in that moving average range. That's a neutral positioning. On the weekly, it's bearish. It's below the moving average range. And on the daily, it's also bearish. But notice it's broken up into a neutral positioning. So we don't take any trades at the moment until this breaks to the downside again, or more convincingly breaks to the upside to trade on the intraday. So on the hourly, again, you would have taken predominantly short trades from that period back there. And to draw those short arrows, that was from the 15th of July. So back around this period, you would have taken short trades. And again, I had a little bullish divergence there. To get rid of that, clean it up a bit, hit that target there. I had another bullish divergence more recently here, hit our target. Now if you draw a Fibonacci, is it going to potentially continue or reverse? You can see there it's currently resting around the 50% level. So it may start reversing possibly, or if it breaks higher, we may see further upside for high grade copper. So for iron ore, there's no CCI for it, but you can see there just based on the price chart, it's pretty much neutral, I would say. On the weekly, it's bearish. It's broken below the moving averages. And on the daily, it's also bearish, still below its moving averages. Now notice it's hit this support at 73450, and it may actually bounce from here possibly, but we'll keep an eye on that. But still bearish based on the daily. If we go to the 1 hour chart, again taking short trades only, you can see there it's bounced off that support, making some further upside on the hourly. It's currently bullish, and don't take long trades until we see this break higher on the daily. We did have a bullish divergence here versus lower lows on the price, hit our target. So possibly it may retrace back to the downside. And if it does, obviously take short trades when it goes below this moving average range. We had another bullish divergence here, hit our target as it did there, broke just above it, then it retraced further to the downside. That's what I'm saying, just be careful. That's a minimum retrace level. Could go a lot higher, but at the very least, more than 90% of the time, it hits this 23-38% target range. So if you got value out of the video, hit that like and subscribe button. Support us on Patreon, where we do weekly bullish share reports. Thanks for watching, and see you in a future video.